And welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. The Springboks have just annihilated Portugal 64 points to 21. A spirited Portugal side, it must be said. And they came, and I'll tell you what, their fans will be leaving very proud of them because they're playing against the world champions. They're playing against the best team in the world, and yet never went away. At the end of the day, you kind of see the levels that there are to the game, and there are lots of levels to the game. And unfortunately, this is kind of what World Rugby are trying to remedy in having games like this. Is we've got to try and reduce the gap between your world champions and your sort of 15, 16 ranked sides in the world. And games like this are so important. But at the end of the day, despite playing with 14 men basically, we're playing with 13 men for about 65 minutes and played with 14 men. Played 14 men for 65 minutes and played with 13 men for about 20 odd or so throughout the game. So basically, the red card to Andre Esterhuizen was in the 3rd minute, so that didn't help at all. So that's why I mentioned that the fact that we were down to 14 men. But in between that, we were then down to 13 men on 2 different occasions. So 3 yellow cards for the Boks. Discipline not really good enough. And a lot of people having an issue with Holly Davidson, the referee. I think maybe the last yellow card to Kieran Horn was a bit harsh. But I'll talk about the cards to Kurt Lawrence as well as to Andre Esterhuizen in a little bit. But before we do that, let's have a look at the game and see how things happened, because we actually went behind, did the Boks, which was not part of the plan. But what a counter-track try it was. So Andre Esterhuizen, red card in the 2nd minute. The Boks then got the ball and started building a bit of confidence and turnover ball. And then I tell you what, they turned it up, didn't they? It's in the Portuguese. A beautiful kick in behind from Bento, and then Dos Santos running onto it and running the length of the field to score in the 10th minute with Demore adding the extras. Unfortunately, did not last long. The first of 4 debutants to score in Jan-Hendrik Wessels as he barged over in the 12th minute. And then let's kind of just go through the try, shall we? Buthelezi, 17th minute on the back of a more. Kirkley Orange down the right-hand side. So good. The Kanya, by the way, today was absolutely superb. Milibok adding the extras there. Milibok not good off the tee. We'll have a chat about that as well. Ben Jason Dixon then got his first international try in the 26th minute. Just relentless pressure after a decent break and then a pick up and go. After Milibok create that space, went straight through the middle. Kurt Lawrence then got yellow card for a croc roll in the 33rd minute. And an important discussion to have regarding that yellow card. Because a week ago, we were complaining about the lack of sanction that was happened to Caelan Doris and to James Ryan for the croc roll on Malcolm Marx. Now, we cannot on one hand be angry that there was no sanction last week and then be angry that there's a sanction this week. Because while it sucks for us to be kind of on the receiving end and it kind of feels a bit unfair, hopefully we look at this as a case of World Rugby almost admitting that last week's sanction was not dealt with seriously enough, for example, and that now this is an example of how it should be dealt with. Bang, croc roll, yellow card. I mean, there was a yellow card last week, but I think there probably could have been one for James Ryan. So we can't sit there and get hung up on the fact that there was a yellow card for the croc roll, because it was a yellow card. You got a yellow card, as far as I'm concerned. Discussion over. Despite going down to what was then 30 men, though, Lekanya scored a nice little individual try. Him and Milibok and Fasi Mapimpi were the entire backline at stage. But nicely worked with Libok, creating a bit of space for Lekanya in the gap. Good turn of pace, nice little shimmy. Over he went. Libok nailing a brilliant touchline conversion to make it 29 points to 7 at half time. Shortly after half time, Makazolo Mapimpi combined with Satchify Magomazulu came on off the bench. A set move off the back of a scrum. Kanya, first receiver. Satchify Magomazulu pops it to Mapimpi on the angle. Round he went. And then Mapimpi, once again, Satchify Magomazulu, the combination. This time, Satchify Magomazulu, individual brilliance by him. Deep kick in from Portugal, turnover ball. Satchify Magomazulu looks up, sees the space, bang, straight through the middle. Gets past another player, delays his pass, one-handed. Gets it out to Mapimpi, who then finishes it into the corner. Things were going swimmingly at 43 points to 7. But Portugal said, no, we're not actually done. Dos Santos went over for another try in the 59th minute, this time converted by Cabral. And then Kieran Horn became the next debutant to score a try. The 64th minute, off the back of a scrum, Warren van den Berg ball in between his legs, pops it behind him, directly into Kieran Horn, his teammate, who has the pace around the outside. He goes over, /Ngoma Zulu nails another conversion, and a few minutes later, Andre Hugo Fenter went over. He became the 4th debutant to score a try. Once again, /Ngoma Zulu, no issue off the tee. Kieran Horn then got a yellow card, taking the man out of the air. Thought it was a bit harsh, to be perfectly honest. But then in that move, it was a try. Basically, because of the red card to Andre Esterhuizen, we always had gaps out wide, which is always going to be the case. And credit to Portugal, they realized this, then they exploited it. They went for the cross kicks and caught us out. So Madeira went over in the 74th minute, and then nice little turnover ball right at the end, and Maximum Pimpy goes over for his hat-trick. /Ngoma Zulu says, thank you very much. He notched up another conversion to make it 5 out of 5. Let's talk a little bit about the refereeing, because I think that's going to be an interesting discussion. Now, Harley Davidson was in her first ever match with the Springboks, pretty much her first real sort of tier 1 sort of test, and already seeing a lot of negative comments about her. I don't think it was that bad, to be perfectly honest. I think we were horrendously ill-disciplined in that first half, and I think that uncharacteristically so. So, you know, the big sort of ones that we need to talk about are the red card and the yellow card, which ironically weren't even actually her decisions. Then Andre Esterhuizen won. The first time I watched it, I didn't think that there was head contact. On second viewing, and when you slow it down, there is head contact. And you then have to go to the rule book. And the rule said, as soon as there's head contact, you start at a red card threshold, and then you bring it down. So what's the mitigation? Was there a change in drop in height from Jose Lima? No, there wasn't. Was Andre Esterhuizen upright in the tackle? Yes, he was. You know, so there's just no mitigation. He's upright in the tackle on a player that wasn't dipping, for example. There was ill clashed, and it's a red card, I think, at the end of the day. So yeah, I don't think we can really argue about the fact that the matter is there was head contact, and you know, once that is the case, you know, he went to the bin of the yellow card, and the TMO then had the bunker check, and it was upgraded to a red. Look at the orange one. I think that's the yellow card. It's a croc roll. It's pretty straightforward. So no issues for me from there. In terms of performances, I mean, interesting. I mean, my D-Box going to get slaughtered because of his poor kicking performance, but goodness me, what another game he had with ball in hand. You know, if you had /Ngoma Zulu starting at 15, for example, which I think, if you know, could become quite a genuine case for it, and he were to kick the goal, my D-Box still gets this backline and this team operating on a different level. It really, really is good. But yeah, so in terms of other big performances, I thought that if we go through it, everybody really played. I don't think too many people played badly. I think Evan Lewis missed the chance to impress. Andre Esterhuizen obviously only played 2 minutes, but Ben Jason Dixon I thought was really, really good. I thought that Thomas Toye was nice and solid. Arkins Never got man of the match. Another big performance from him. I thought that Lakanya looked close to his best. Maximum Pimpy running and tries. Fassi looked okay. So I thought generally most players played pretty well. We'll go through the player ratings in a bit. But genuinely no massive issues from me from that test. We got some experience there. I don't think too many players have literally launched themselves into the coach's plans. But I think most players showed that they are good enough at this level and they kind of should be in and around this box squad. But yeah, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Right, enough rambling. I've given you guys now 8.5 minutes, and hopefully you guys have been voting on the poll so that you guys can rate the players. So we're now going to go rate the players and give our man of the match away. So first things first, I need nominations for the man of the match. And what are we saying? I think that personally, I'm looking at Ben Jason Dixon. I'm looking at Archie Snyman. I'm looking at Lukanya as man of the match candidates. And maybe who else? Who else are we going to throw in there? Jan Koblo had a nice game. Mapimpi with a hat trick probably has to be there for me. I mean, those are my those would be my man of the match nominations. So what are you thinking? Are you agreeing, disagreeing? What are we thinking here? So let's go start. I'm going to start a poll. Who was your man of the match? I'm seeing people backing up my Ben Jason Dixon shouts. Love the work. I'm seeing who else we say? I'm seeing. Oh, we have to put Marcus on the Pimpy, don't we? Anyone else backing up my Lakanya shot? Nobody backing up my Lakanya shot. Nobody. I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was pretty good. I'm seeing Sasha. I'm seeing not Sneyman. So I'm seeing a Krobby shot. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, got man of the match. I don't understand how you don't give it to Mapimpy. I'm seeing Murat from Imposter. I'm seeing more Ben Jason Dixon. I'm seeing another Krobbies, but the same person. Anybody else standing up there? Yeah, more Mapimpy shots. I'm putting in Lakanya. I'm pulling presenter's privilege, and gonna put him in there. And anybody else? Anybody else? Orange. Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with those three. To be fair, I mean nobody else is really backing the Arceus shot. So should we throw them in there? Yeah, let's do it. BJ's Dix Max on the Pimpy Lakanya. That's what I'm throwing out as man of the match nominations. Go and get voting. So let's get into it, shall we? I suppose what I do. I suppose I got to put it on my screen, don't I? Let me just sort that out, and then we'll get going, shall we? I'm just adjusting it, and I've now got it on the screen. Lekker. And what have we got to say, people? So it is the pin comment, so you can go and we go and vote. And it's a pretty close vote so far for man of the match. We're now going to be voting for the player ratings. And CP will say you can't not have Lakanya. That was pretty clear. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic today. Let's go through the player ratings, people, and you guys have had your chance to go and rate all the players. And I'm gonna now pull up my rugby stats and going to tell you guys how all the various players got on today. Now I don't think anyone's gonna get more lower than a 6. To be honest, let's be very clear about this. Young Entry Vessels on debut, 6 carries, a try, 3 defenders beaten. Probably have to give him an 8, don't we? We probably have to give him an 8, and especially maybe even particularly because, as by the way, there it is, because people were questioning his. Not say I was questioning, but I was very surprised at his selection, given the fact that he just doesn't play a lot of rugby for the Bulls. So it was a surprise selection, but it looked good. Do we give him a 7? Do we give him an 8? Where are we at? Do we give him a 7 because, you know, there's so many good performances. You know, it's almost like he gets knocked down to a 7 because of just the other performances around him. So let me know what you're thinking about when it comes to Jan Hendrik Wessels. And, you know, that's the range between 1 and 10. I want to go with 7. It seems a bit harsh. Apparently it's not so harsh. Apparently we're actually quite close. So there we go. Well, fair enough. Jan Kobler, I thought he was really good today, actually. I'm not surprised. But a couple turnovers, 4 carries, looked pretty solid. I'm pretty happy to give him a 7 as well. Gets a 7 on the dot. I think that's pretty okay. What I am just going to do, I'm just going to refresh this one last time to make sure anybody else's votes do come in. And we're then going to continue going over there. Right, there it is. So, Jan Kobler, I gave him a 7. That's averaged out there. Right, Thomas Toy. A nice return on for Thomas Toy. 3 carries, 1 tackle. Really good scrum time. Pretty solid. I think I'll just give him a starting front row at 7, really. Probably deserved actually probably an 8 couple there, but I'm just trying to like almost tape. It's almost like, you know, you were an 8, but it's against Portugal, so therefore it's a 7. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know if that's fair or not either, but it's kind of just where I'm at. It kind of, for me, makes sense. Right, let's have a look at Salman Murat, who is an interesting. I'm seeing very conflicting opinions in the comments. At the end of the day, the job of the number 4 is to graft. Your locks are grafters, and his game does speak of a grafter. To be fair, I don't think a couple of turnovers and stuff like that. I don't think it was his best game. I don't think it was terrible. I think he's going to play many games for the Boks. So I'll probably give him a 6. Yeah, 6.1. People are around, more or less around there. So I think that's all right. Yeah, I think he's solid, but nothing too special. I think 6 is pretty fair. Oh, okay, Sneman was very good. I don't think he was man of the match, but he was very good. 7 carries, 4 tackles, 26 meters gain, 1 defender beaten, a trialist assist. This is what always gets me. 5 offloads. It has to be an 8 for Arkia, doesn't it? An 8 on the dot. You guys are we're on song here, people. We're on song, which is good to see. Pittsburgh Lazy on debut looked very comfortable, didn't he? Looked very, very comfortable. And I think that's a really good compliment towards him. I mean, is he the Sia Khaleesi replacement at number 6? He could be. He could well be. Looked like that, like the case this week, this evening. I was very impressed with him. I'm going to give him a 7. Scored as well, 6.8. I think it's harsh to be under anything in 7. I thought he was very good. Ben Jason Dixon. Well, you know what? If you guys have been watching this channel, you will know how much I rate this guy and how much I've been calling for him to be in the box. So, you know, when you see him playing today, it's just like, it's so like, well, maybe I do know something. Not much, but maybe something. Maybe a little bit about the game, because I thought he was absolutely tremendous. I'm going to give him, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give him a 9. I am. It's going to be 8.2. I just, maybe it's a bit of bias. I like him so much, but I thought he was terrific today. And I'd back him as a Peter Stevens toy replacement come the Rugby Championship. One of the few players who I felt didn't really grab the opportunity, and I feel like I've said that too many times about Evan Roos, who comes in on the back of a lot of pressure. People talking about, you know, who's going to be the next number 8, for example, and he's still incredibly young as Evan Roos. He's 24 years old, by the way, so he's a very, very young player. He's now played 6 games for the Boks, and we've still yet to see the Evan Roos we see at the Stormers. And I understand it's a very different game plan, for example, and he has to do very different things, but just decision making, for example, I think there's a certain amount of maturity that might just be missing from his game at the moment. So I didn't think he was phenomenal. Had nice moments, but I think lost the ball a few times. It was a bit frustrating. Carried the ball nicely when we all know when he's in space. He's so good. But the problem is the Test Rugby is not played with a lot of space. It's played when it's, you know, the small margins. And that's why players like Ruan Venter came on and looked very comfortable, because he lives in the trenches. That's where he takes up a residence. Ben Jason Dixon as well. They take up a residence in the trenches. That short gain line advantage, that muscling through, that hard graft, you know. And that's what Test Rugby is all about. And it's an interesting concept for an Evan Roos to try and adapt, because the Storm's game plan, I'm not saying you can't do it, but the Storm's game plan allows them more license to be in more space, for example, where he can be that destructive ball carrier that he is. But Test Rugby is a little bit different, and he needs to try and adapt his game for it. Course run I thought was decent. Got around the park nicely. Distribution was pretty good. I'll probably give him a solid 7. 6.8 seems a bit harsh. Not quite sure what he did wrong. But fair enough. Monty Liebach, this is going to be an interesting one. I thought that he kicked absolutely atrociously, but everything else I thought he was pretty phenomenal. The way he managed the game when we went down to 14 and at one stage 13 men was incredibly impressive. I think that's probably something that people are not going to even think about. But we were under pressure here. We were in a situation where I'm busy watching the Super Sport producer who's busy trying to stop guys from behind the camera from running lineouts and pulling pants down and shit like that. But anyway, you've got to look at that situation. We just conceded a try. We were suddenly under a lot of pressure, and he grabbed it, and I thought he managed it very, very well. So I'm actually towards 7 for Monty Liebach, despite the kicking, because I thought that in his in-game play, you know, try assist, look at the brace he made, 60 meters gained, 4 defenders beaten. I thought he was really good with ball in hand, just didn't kick particularly well. So it's like the age-old problem, isn't it? Where, for example, he goes and somebody else kicks for goal, you look at that performance and that's an 8, 9, 10 out of 10. So I think 6 is harsh, to be honest. I'm going to give him a 7. I think that he was really, really good in open plays. Now, I think 5.6 is ludicrous, you know. He didn't kick well, we know this, and that is a problem. But it's a bit like that Scotland game, isn't it? And that's what Mark Ninoga said. He says, well, if he's going to win man of the match, what's the issue? And I think tonight was a similar sort of occasion, because, yeah, you know, maybe it drops down to for me maybe like a 6 because he didn't kick particularly well. But for that to be a 5.6 means people are down at 5s and 4s. Butch James won a World Cup and didn't take a single kick of goal. He might have taken a couple, but that's the reality. You've got a case of other teams. For example, you've got Remain Intermac and Matthew Jalabert played the entire World Cup last year, didn't have to kick a goal. So Marty Buck is in a situation where he's in a team where there's no goal kicker that can play at 15, 12, or 15. If he were, he'd be absolutely cooking. So it's a frustrating one, isn't it? Because we want to see him with ball in hand. We want him, and that's why he played against France and started against England, because we're a better side when he starts from a attacking point of view. But it's it is a problem though, because we need to have a genuine goal kicker. So it's becoming a situation where you almost have to play somebody else to slot him in. Do you really want to be doing that? And then becomes a bit of a balancing act, doesn't it? I think that there will be a situation in the future where you can have a Mine Liebach, for example, Dane Vincent at 12, maybe a Sachfami Gomazulu at 15, and all of a sudden you've got a goal kicker in Sachfami Gomazulu, and you've got an incredible attacking fly half in Mine Liebach. And, does that suddenly release you as a team? Potentially. So we have to wait and see over there. I think that's very harsh. Marcus Wilma-Pimpy, let's talk about the good things here. And Marcus Wilma-Pimpy, I don't think he'll be playing rugby for much longer for the Boks. I think that he got through the last World Cup. He's no longer a starter. He's 33 years old. He turns 34 next week. So he's not young. He's still scoring tries. And for as long as he can still score tries, still be part of the Boks here. But I do think he's somebody who will be moved on. But how good was it to see him playing the way he did tonight? He gets a 9 out of 10 from me, 8.7. So far leads the highest score. Andre Esterhuizen was on for 2 minutes. I'll give him a 2. Poor Andre, an opportunity for him. But yeah, we'll be able to scrutinize that tackle for a long time. At the end of the day, you could see, I think there was head contact. Well, I saw head contact in that that tackle, and from there, he's in trouble, at the end of the day. And not much you can really say about it. Lacanio was playing 12, 13. At one stage, he was playing 14 as well. If there was ever one person I'd want to have one... If you were to sit there and say, listen, you only have one backline player, who's going to be Lacanio? Because he's got everything, isn't he? The distribution, the pace, the tackling, the creativity. Oh, cheapers need. Lacanio 9 out of 10. Masterclass performance from Lacanio. Was really, 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 really good tonight. Current answer, probably a bit for me, was around a 7. Got a yellow card, drops down to a 6. Scored a try. Worked really hard. The yellow card was a bit of a stupid yellow card, I felt, but I'll give him a 7. I don't think... to give Cody Irons a 7.8 and to have players like Desmond Les at 6.8, for me is a bit of a weird one. Cody Irons was good, but for me, that yellow card always drops you down a rating. I thought Apple Fassi was decent, but nothing spectacular. It made the 2 tackles he had to make, 1 clean break, had a nice break. I'll give him a 7. Don't think he was phenomenal. 7.1. Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. Let's go to the bench, shall we? And at least most of the players got a reasonable amount of time. So we look at Andre Hugo Fenta. I'm sitting at a 7.5 carries, a try for him as well. So he gets a solid 7 on debut. 7.1. Into Tukum Kunu, same thing. I'll give him a 7 as well. 6.5. I mean, what did the kid do wrong? He came on, scrummed well, carried twice, tackled twice, had nothing to do, did nothing wrong. I thought it was pretty solid. I know we usually go with an average 6, but yeah, Trevor, maybe him we can give an average 6. We didn't see a thing. A 6.3, that's fine. So yeah, whatever. 6.5 is probably about both of them. Didn't really have opportunity, to be fair. Ruan Fenta, however, the little minutes he got, he made count. 22 minutes, and he made 8 carries, 3 tackles, beating 2 defenders. 3 tackles and 1 missed tackle. I thought he was very, very good. I thought he looked like a Springbok. That should have been there a long time ago. That's been there for a long time. So 6.7 for me is a bit of a weird one. I'm not entirely sure anybody who's going below 10 from what I saw from Ruan Fenta. Ulrich Lowe also looked pretty solid. Nice and busy when he came on. Morning van den Berg had that one moment where he got timed up by Holly. That was sloppy from him, but apart from that, he kicked well. His passing was crisp. He had a try assist as well, so I'll give him a 7. That's fine. Sasha kicked flawlessly off the boot, so I'm at an 8. 2 try assists, I'm at a 9. Missed tackle for that try, back at an 8 for me. yeah. Look, I mean, he was great, wasn't he? And then Kieran Horn, just a 7, scored a try, got a yellow card. So kind of, I mean, 6.4 for him. Harsh. It's harsh, isn't it? He had 2 good breaks, looked very comfortable, and then got a very unlucky yellow card, in my opinion. People, thank you very much. Those are all the very one. And Joke saying you can't give almost everyone a 7, like everyone gets a prize. That's boring, and about to play raises seldom any variation beyond 6 to 8. Use the full spectrum. Well, we beat them by 40 points, so it does seem a bit harsh to start giving 3s and 4s for performance when we beat them by 64 points. Well, we put 64 points on them, beat them by 40 points. So we gave Andre Esterhuizen a 2. Who deserved anything more than I don't think anyone was a 10 out of 10. I don't really give 10 out of 10 performances against tier 2 nations. But yeah, I mean, I've got to try and find a reason to give somebody a 5 or a 4 when they don't deserve it. I think that's pretty harsh. But anyway, we're going to wrap it up there, people. So the last thing we have to do is to vote for the man of the match. It is incredibly close. 256 people have voted, and the official Forever Sports man of the match is Maxwell Mapimpi with 38%. Ben Jason Dixon just behind him. Lekanya behind him there. What a game that was from the box, getting the job done. Some very nice individual performances. And yeah, we move, people. We move. Please do smash a like on the video. Please do subscribe to the channel as well.